Hi, everybody. It's Professor Ken. I have that background because Sunday is March 14th. It's Pi Day. Happy Pi Day, everybody. I'm making this video because on the content standard homework assignment, where you had to make that PowerPoint presentation to say how many days it would take and then use the workshop model. Many of you chose the very first content standard for grade 4, and you completely missed the spirit of the standard, which resulted in a disastrous presentation. So I feel like for everybody, we need to understand what that standard embodies. And if you chose that standard and did it incorrectly, I invite you to redo the assignment or to pick another standard. That's fine. So let me share my screen. Okay, I made a PowerPoint to go with this. So many of you picked content standard 4.0a.a.1. Interpret a multiplication equation as a comparison. For example, interpret 35 as 5 times 7, or I'm sorry, interpret 35 equals 5 times 7 as a statement that 35 is 5 times as many as 7 and 7 times as many as 5. Represent verbal statements of multiplicative comparisons as multiplication equations. Okay, so we're comparing, which means we have to have amounts. So you can't just say 5 times as many as 7 equals 35. That makes no sense to me, to you, or to students. So here we go. All right. This is how the standard is meant to be interpreted. We would start off by saying, Bubba has $7. Monique has 5 times as much as Bubba. How much money does Monique have? And they would use place value mats and base 10 blocks to solve it, because on the first day, we're going to be in the concrete stage of learning. So we would set up a place value mat, and first we represent Bubba's $7. There they are. Monique has 5 times as many as that. There we go. Then we would have to regroup, which I'm not going to show you because you know how to do that already. And then they would have to make an equation. So there's our equation. 5 times 7 equals 35. All right, what would we do on day? So you would do the modeling, guided practice, independent practice for this. On the second day, we want them to use pictorial representations, and the problems would get a little harder. A centipede has 100 legs. A millipede has 10 times as many legs. How many legs does a millipede have? So they would use pictorial representations of base 10 blocks. So there's a flat that equals 100. The millipede has 10 times as many. Boom. So how do we write an equation for that? 100 times 10 equals 1,000. The millipede has 1,000 legs. Then finally, we want to go into the abstract stage. So Oprah has 4 times as many cars as Shaq. If Shaq has 8 cars, how many does Oprah have? Well, we want the kids to know by now that they could just write 8 times 4 equals 32. But just in case kids needed some prompting or some additional supports, depending on what stage of learning, there are Shaq's 8 cars. Oprah has 4 times as many as that. How many does she have? Okay, so then represented as 8 times 4 equals 32. And then to extend the learning, to really make sure the kids have it, write a story problem that goes along with 43 times 11 equals 373. And in that way, we would know the students have mastered that standard. I hope this helps. Now, if you chose that standard and what you taught doesn't look anything like this, you missed the spirit of the standard. Sorry.